Hello, everybody, and welcome to Hot Topic, sponsored by the Charger Bulletin at the University of New Haven. I am your host and editor of the film section. I am Scott. This is Steve right here. He is Mr. Cameraman. He's going to be joining us today since no one else has been able to because everyone's still come back from vacation.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, one of our staff writers just come down with a stomach flu.
Oh.
So we wish her the best. But before we get started, we will be doing our full Catching Fire review today. But just a quick little thing I just want to do a shout out to is last night Paul Walker was taken from us. I'm sure a lot of you have known about that by now. At first I thought it was a hoax. You may have too.
Yeah.
But it's very unfortunate. I, for one, am a huge fan of the Fast and Furious franchise. I remember when this first came out. Those are some movies. The original one was something I watched a very awful lot when I was little. So the fact that I've lost him, that means a lot to me. Because that franchise is huge for me. So, may God bless him, God bless his family. But yeah, our review for Catching Fire is going to start in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so, Catching Fire.
Oh my god!
Just go through some initial first reactions. I loved it. What about you?
I absolutely loved it.
It was, honestly, here's the thing that really sticks out for me the most. It's not so much that it was a good Hunger Games movie as much as it was a good movie. You know what I mean? Like, this really expands beyond the young adult demographic. Kind of like what it was aiming for. It really kind of, in Hunger Games, aims towards, especially the books even too, young female adults. We're talking like ages about like 12 to early 20s,
yeah.
Something like that. And this just shows you how good this franchise is and how much it's become. Is when I went into that theater, I think the actual number is 40% of the audience was male. 40% of the audience that overall went was male. That is awesome, considering that other things in that demographic, Twilight,
yeah.
What else is in that? Whatever that in that mix.
Would you consider Harry Potter part of that demographic, or
Not really, because it's not so much aiming towards females.
okay?
But obviously that's a huge improvement, though,
Yes.
which is awesome. It shows you like how much of a span that it's hit now, and it's really really good.
Yes, it lives up to the hype.
It
I'll
does.
definitely say that.
Which is something that I think the first one did not do.
All the ads I've seen in Subway, they're there for a reason.
Exactly. That's something I didn't think the first one did. Because the first one was just kind of... Okay, how about this? What did you think about the first one?
First one, I think it was very good, but to put it best, they played it safe.
That's a good way to put it.
As safe as a movie about murdering children can go.
Very true. Which is... Well, that has a little shaky cam in the first one. That actually has a lot to do with hiding that. We'll get to that a little bit second later. That just goes into that. This one wasn't so much about murdering children.
Yeah, it was more about the government structure behind it.
It was. And what I thought at first was, okay, here's my reaction to the first one. The hype was, I remember someone telling me, excuse me, someone told me, this is going to be bigger than the Avengers or Harry Potter will ever be. It's not. It's close, but it's not. Especially the first one. Like the first one, my reaction after the first one was over is thumbs up, sign me up for another. My reaction after this one is give me the next right now.
Yes.
This movie, it's very quickly paced. And it's a very long movie. Here's the thing, and it feels long. A lot of people say it went by really quickly. I think it felt pretty long. But the difference with that is, excuse me, I got a little cold. The difference with that is, a lot of times when people say it's long, you can't wait for it to get over. When I stopped and said, wow, this movie is really long, I can't wait for the rest of it and see how long I have to, because I want to be stuck there. And there really weren't too many times this year I was really sucked into a movie like I was with that one. That was, we're talking balls to the walls, out. I am out. Mm-hmm. Everything is gone, and all that's there is that screen. Did you feel something similar?
I did.
Or what?
Did you ever read the books?
I did not.
Neither did I. So, spoiler alert, the thing right at the end that involved lightning.
Yeah. You could say all our stuff is, this is spoiler filled. Yeah.
Okay, so
we should have warned about it before. This is spoiler filled. All our reviews. are spoiler filled.
So when Katniss attached the wire from the tree that was going to get struck by lightning to the arrow and shot up, I'm like, oh my god, she's taking it to the next level.
Yeah.
She literally shattered the dome with one arrow.
I predicted she was going to do that.
I did not, because I was so distracted by everyone that was around her seemingly to be dead or missing.
Here's why I thought they were going to do that, and here's why. Because in the trailer, they show it.
Oh, they do?
They show it in the trailer, and, excuse me, they, earlier in the film, when we was talking about the force field, if you look at an angle, you can see the force field.
Right.
That was foreshadowing that she's going to use that skill later.
Okay.
So I figured, I didn't know if she was going to do it at that time, but I knew at some point she was going to be doing that. But, yeah, there's that. Acting chops. Holy hell. Jennifer Lawrence has won an Oscar last year.
Yes, she did.
I think this was a better performance than she gave in that movie. And that's something I see a lot of people talking about.
That's definitely arguable.
She is mind-blowing.
Now the question is, do you think she will get nominated for an Oscar for
Catching Fire? No.
For a film that's geared towards young adults?
I think not, just because I don't want to say the Oscars favor it, but the Oscars have their certain movies that they really go for, and I could be wrong. She could get an Oscar, but I have no idea. Does she deserve to win it? Well, we also have Matthew McConaughey from Mud in this year, so I don't know if she deserves to win it this year. But I just think this is one of the most notable performances we've seen.
Definitely.
This year.
Biggest emotional range, I'd say.
Yeah. For those of you who didn't see, well, of course you saw it because that's why you're here.
Yes.
I think a perfect example of that. Two scenes that really come to mind to show her range. One is kind of a combination of two scenes. When they're at District 11.
Yeah.
And she sees Rue's face.
Yes.
That whole scene is to seeing the guy get shot, to going up into the attic and talking to Haymitch and Peeta.
Yeah.
That takes you through 20 different emotions in about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's phenomenal. And you buy every single one of them. Here's the thing. I don't want to say I cry. I did not almost cry. But I felt the impact of that.
Yeah.
I really did. And the second scene that comes to mind is the ending scene, the one they cut off. It's the still face, and she's confused and anxious and so many different things, and then it finishes with that face like, oh my god, you just pissed off Katniss.
Yep.
Oh no, we really have never seen her pissed off yet. We've seen her disturbed, but we've never actually seen her say, okay, now I am going to kill you for this. And that was very powerful, but that just shows the range and how quickly she's changing. She has to change these emotions, which is very admirable. Who's the dude who plays Peeta?
That's Josh Hutcherson.
Josh Hutcherson.
Which, side note, I found out, I looked in the mirror after I saw that film. Does my face look like his?
Thank God. He went from dry toast in the first film to a nice seasoned bread with a delicious jelly on it.
I like how you're tying in the bakery reference.
I didn't even do that on purpose.
No, I will say, in the first movie, they didn't give him much to work with. I don't think.
They didn't. You are right. There really wasn't much for him to work with.
This book that they're working from, he has a lot more of emotions and history to work with.
And he definitely does, and you even see that. He has, instead of just being the kid who's stuck there with Katniss, he is a purpose, he is a piece of the puzzle, and you see that quite a bit. Now, especially when he's, I think a scene that was really big for him is when they're in the train, and they're in the back of the train, they're talking, and he's trying to make that connection to her. And you see he cares for her, but she doesn't really care for him that much at that level.
Yeah.
And, what was it? And you start to see that he's like, let's talk about something deep, like what's your favorite college? It's just like stuff like that, and you really see him really develop through that, which I'm really happy about, because I'm so happy they didn't completely waste that character.
Yeah.
Unlike Thor's brother,
Yeah, considering
Liam Hemsworth, he's just there. He's just there to look pretty.
I'm really surprised they keep listing him as like the third highest actor on the thing. Like the credits
really
roll,
listed as that?
the credits roll, you see Jennifer Lawrence, Josh Hutcherson, Liam Hemsworth,
Is he really?
Woody Harrelson. Yeah,
You know why? Because his name is Hemsworth.
and
that's
he's
why.
Yeah, you're right. He's a pretty face.
He's pretty. All the Hemsworths are pretty. Chris Hemsworth, he's even for me, he's pretty. Both of them, they're just beautiful people to look at.
Yes.
And I don't know if it's still just the name Hemsworth that keeps his name there. Woody Harrelson, he does a fantastic job.
Yes, he does.
Here's my only thing that I didn't like. It has nothing to do with him, it just has to do with the plot. Once again, I didn't read the book, so I didn't know to expect this or not. When they're drawing the two names for the men,
Yeah.
I want to see them draw his name so badly.
Wait, who?
Cambridge. Woody Harrelson's character.
Right.
I really want to see him go and kick some butt.
Well, no, they did draw his name. No, they drew his
Oh, yeah,
name.
they did. Yeah, they
drew
did.
his
But
name,
then
and
they,
PETA
yeah.
insisted.
But I really wanted to see him
what would
get
happen.
thrown to the Hunger Games. From what I hear, there's a scene in the book that was pretty important where PETA, that they did not include in the movie. PETA talks to Haymitch, and then he gets the tape of Haymitch's Hunger Games, and he watches the young Haymitch do it. I would have loved to have seen that.
Now, question: Would they have used Woody Harrelson for that, or would they have used a younger actor?
I don't know. I don't know how old he was when he did it.
I'm guessing Haymitch. It's been a while since his Hunger Games, considering the long hair, the beard, the.
I know he was. Well, remember, I think the highest you can do is 18 or 21.
21.
Something like that. Yeah, I know. They said the youngest winner was 14, so he was older than 14.
Yeah.
I don't know. That makeup could do some stuff. Maybe they can find. I have no idea.
Isn't he in a film with like Christian Bale coming out either later this year, or not later this year, next year, where he plays a psychopath?
Maybe.
Because
I need a name.
it's not American Hustle.
Yeah, I was thinking you're talking about American Hustle. Like, no, that's
it's not American Hustle. It's the other one with is it Casey Affleck?
Maybe.
But either way, he's like jacked in that one.
Is it really?
He could kick some real butt.
No. But I was
That
really
would've
looking
been
forward
cool
to seeing
to see.
that. Even what's her name? Here's this movie has a real rise of the minor characters. Who is the chick? I call her Lady Gaga.
Oh, you're talking about the one stripped in the elevator?
No, not her.
Okay.
Not her, even though that was hilarious.
Yes.
That was hilarious.
And
that
also
scene.
hilarious, the F-bombs. In her interview.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that was funny, too.
Everyone in my theater, like, stood up and clapped at that moment.
It was really funny. It was really... We did not see it together, by the way, so...
Yeah.
What's the chick? Like, their manager from District
Oh,
1.
Effie.
Yeah,
Effie.
yeah Effie. That's her name. Even she actually is showing humanity, and they even develop her. Not by... I don't want... Okay, here's the thing. They developed her a lot by doing very little. And the reason why I say that is because, like, they... She is a basic personality who's
Right.
just there to kind of keep things there.
Right.
And all you have to do is tweak that a little bit, and then that develops a lot. And that's what they did for her. You see her crying when she sees... Because you see she really cares for Katniss and PETA and Haymitch.
Right.
You can see she really cares. So when they had to go back in, you could see her getting really saddened by that and affected by that, which I think is a really, really beautiful touch because it shows you how much they cared about writing this and putting the effort into that.
It shows you that she's not just a regular member of the Capitol. She actually has some.
She's
feelings.
a person there.
Yeah.
Now, what her role is going to be in the upcoming movies, I have no idea.
I don't know.
I can't even tell. Like, I don't even know the books. I don't even know what happens in the books. All I know is somebody dies. I don't even know what who it is.
All I know is somebody
I'm gonna
dies.
guess it's PETA. I'm guessing PETA or Haymitch. I'm gonna guess it's one of those two
It could be a bunch of people.
because it's all I know is that there's one specific person who dies.
Could be a character we haven't even been introduced yet. There's more characters being introduced in Mockingjay. I know that much.
Then maybe it is. I'm gonna bet it's either PETA or Haymitch, just because that just makes sense.
Yeah, I'll go with Hamish. Alcoholism. No, I was kidding.
I like Hammer stuff, but what else is there about this movie that's really good? Action's really good. It didn't focus so much on the actual Hunger Games part. That's the thing that they did like the first one, where This movie could be essentially split into two movies: the pre-Hunger Games and the at Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Very similar to the first one. And I liked it though, because it keeps you really pumped for the second one, for the second half of it.
Yeah, it does.
It really does, and
it builds the suspense to the point where it doesn't seem like it's dragging out too long.
Even though it is, because it's paced really quickly. That's why.
Yeah.
It is paced quickly, so it doesn't seem like it's dragging, but it is still a very long film. Suspense is something that you brought up. You are like being strapped to a chair and being like thrown off of a cliff.
Yes, you are.
You feel your heart pounding, especially when you see the clock like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and right when she's going up and they kill Lenny Kravitz. I felt the impact, but like oh my god, I killed him. I'm like, I didn't care as much because he really wasn't. He was a part of it. It's just I personally.
I wouldn't say that there was an emotional connection, but I will say that was a big WTF moment. I'm like, really?
Okay, yeah, that's a good way to put it.
If you had to do this?
Yeah.
She's not traumatized enough?
And that's the thing. It's like, yeah, that's a good thing you brought up. She keeps getting hit on the head with a hammer. This girl has the worst. I would probably kill myself about this chick.
Bad luck.
She just keeps getting hit over the head. It's like, bam, okay, setback. Bam, another setback. Bam, another one. Oh my god. Like, dude, you just think about that. I don't even know how I'd be able to live like that.
Obviously she has some driving hope.
Here's the interesting part about that. It's like she doesn't want to be the symbol that she is.
No,
which is essentially what this whole movie is about, is her needing help to get through what's going on because she doesn't want to do it. She's stuck there and she can't get out. She has to fake her romance and marriage completely. Which I feel like half of that is like almost, I don't want to say a satire, but kind of a point that's being directed to the media where people just make up all these publicity stunts for stuff. That's essentially what they do. It is a reflection on real life, a lot of this.
Yes, it is.
Where you see the marriage and everyone thinks that marriage is perfect, whatever, and they really don't care that much. And you see how they have to fit. Once again, another good thing that shows her range is when they're filming it. You know what I'm talking about? That they come outside, and they're right when they go on the Evil Guys TV show, but they're not actually at the show.
No, you're right, yeah.
That and then they have to go from like miserable to like these very happy. Oh my god! Once again, another thing. I'm like, oh wow, she turned on like a light switch. But anyway, it's like it really is a reflection of real life, of how celebrities, what they have to deal with, and some who don't want to deal with it, and things they have to do because it's essentially their job. Because once again, Haymitch says something that's really true. You're a distraction so people can forget the real problem.
Exactly.
And that's entirely true for society as a whole, in my opinion. What do you think?
No, that's definitely the case. And by the end, Katniss and the character Finnick helps her with this.
Finnick was pretty cool.
The whole remember who the real enemy is, she realizes that she no longer wants to be the distraction.
Yeah. That's the whole point. She doesn't want to be in that situation. She has to.
No, she realized, like, even if she has to, she doesn't want to.
I know.
So she rebels against the Capitol and destroys the stadium.
Because she has to, not because she wants to. Here's the thing. At that point, she thinks everyone else is trying to kill her. Even all the people who she sided with, she thinks they're all trying to kill her at that point.
True.
And here's the thing. When you see her wake up, did you see that plot twist coming? Oh, I knew it left it on... I was told before I went into it, it leaves on a cliffhanger. Yeah. I had no idea what was going to happen. But as soon as that door opened, and you see the evil senator dude, it's like...
Oh, you're talking,
the very
Seymour Hoffman?
Yeah.
Yeah, the game maker.
Yeah, the game maker.
Yep.
And you see her walk in, and then I asked myself, my jaw just dropped. I'm like, wait, is Philip Seymour Hoffman on the good side, or is Haymitch and Aquaman? I call him Aquaman.
Oh, I can see that.
Because he has a train.
Aquaman.
Or Haymitch and Aquaman on the bad side. That was the thing that got me. It's like, wait, we know someone betrayed someone, but who just betrayed who?
No, I will say that I was not surprised by Philip Seymour Hoffman, his character. I don't want to... Heaven Batch, like Peevage... Poltark, there we go, that's his name. Wonderful name to grow up with on the playground. I kind of saw the foreshadowing from the beginning when they were at the big Capitol party that he was on Katniss's side.
What did he do that kind of gave hinted that to you? When they were dancing?
Yeah, when they were dancing, and when the center island was spinning, and right when Katniss went under the water, he stopped it.
Oh.
I saw some like mercy in that, and I'm like wondering why. And
I thought he stopped it just because the point was just to try to kill her. But
no, if they wanted to kill her, they would have just kept the island spinning until like her thing went offline.
True.
But no, I was shocked. Haymitch and Finnick were in on it too. I did not even.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Finnick was I liked him in there. It's pretty good. A lot of people are going nuts, but I'm not going completely nuts over the guy. He's good. His role was interesting.
Yeah.
Kept him going. There were some parts that I thought were a little bit too predictable. Like when they're trying to escape from the fog.
And
it's like, okay, you know the old lady is going to die here because you
Yeah.
have to get rid of her somehow. And then even the water thing I predicted, I don't know why, I just said to myself, why do I have a feeling that water is going to be the thing that heals them? I don't know why. The answer is that was. That was just that's not even foreshadowed. That wasn't predictability. That's just a lucky guess.
Yeah.
That was kind of predictable. Here's the thing. You know who's... How do I explain this? You know who's going to die and when.
Yeah.
And here's a thing that I'm glad they did not put so much emphasis on the Hunger Games for, is because we know there's 2 more movies.
Yes.
We know Katniss and Peeta will not die yet. There's no point in putting us in a situation where we have to try to be scared for them, because we know Katniss does not die.
Yes.
We know Finnick will not die because we're just introduced to him and we're seeing he's becoming a big role. Like, we know he's not going to die.
Exactly.
I was waiting for the crazy lady who was stripping in the elevator to die.
Yeah.
I thought she would be like the one to make a huge sacrifice at the end, because they built her up just for enough of that. The psycho lady who's saying TikTok and she figured out it was a clock, I knew she was going to die because she has no purpose there. You can kind of figure out who's going to die and when.
Yeah.
The guy with the glasses who figured out the whole thing,
Mm-hmm.
he's in on it. We see at the end.
Yep, and
I honestly thought he was going to... The first time I saw him, I'm like, how much you want to bet he's going to flip it, the switch at the end, to be working for the bad guys? Evidently, he was still working for the good guys, which is...
And I thought he died at the end. And I thought Katniss in the hovercraft was like laying next to a dead body, but then I'm like, no, the oxygen mask is still on him. Then I went and looked at the details for Mockingjay. The actor is confirmed for Mockingjay.
Oh, he is?
So
Okay.
he's definitely alive.
I thought he was alive, too. I didn't know if they went and killed him or...
I wasn't sure about that.
What else is that? Oh! One of the biggest guys, Preston Snow.
Donald Sutherland.
Evil Santa Claus is terrifying in this.
He's as legendary as ever.
He is terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Just his... He doesn't really... Just his stare.
His stare and his delivery.
Yeah. It's almost like... I gotta put this in this perspective of Bane from The Dark Knight Rises. Just looking at him, you just say, oh no.
Yeah.
Just looking at him. He has that look, he has that presence where Bane and President Snow do not have to speak. They just have to look at you. And I'd be like, okay, don't kill me, I'll just willfully kill myself.
Yes.
His look like wills you to kill yourself. And he's phenomenal in this.
Yep.
Once again, he's terrifying. The whole plot is... It's a very political movie, too.
Very much so, yeah.
It's a very political movie. And that's what I like about it, is because it keeps you interested. See, a lot of people, they like... people... Or one thing that I see a lot of people like, I'm not driven... Well, they're not driven by plot movies as much as they are character. I like to have a good balance of both. I personally am a little bit more of a sucker for plot. Just because, like, the plot just, oh my god, what's going to happen? I'm a little bit more interested in that than character. But There's, once again, you have to have characters to go with that, or else the
Right.
plot's not going to work. This has just the perfect balance of twists and turns and investment in the people who you really, really care about. And that's the thing. It's like the whole thing. You're not scared for Katniss. You're scared for the other people who you have grown to like.
Exactly.
And the Hunger Games, because once again, you know Katniss isn't going to die. It's the other people. It's like, I like you. I'm rooting for you this time. So yeah, that's that. I think there were a few conveniences.
Oh yeah, there's always a couple of things
Like
that
the
convenient
fog,
to
the fog
plot.
that stops at the wall, which you find out what that is later.
Yeah.
But still, it's like, what if they stopped a foot? It was something like that. It's like, once again, it didn't take me out of it. It was just like, but at the same time, the game maker wasn't going to kill her anyway.
Exactly.
Or something like that. Maybe he was. I have no idea.
Oh, I will say the clock stadium thing, absolutely brilliant idea.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so too. Now, here's my question: does that apply to the other arenas, or
No,
is that just this one?
it's the specific arena. Every single year that they have the Hunger Games, it's a completely different arena. Last year was like wilderness and mountains. This one's like tropical, and its center is an island. And for some reason, there's a very conductive tree right near the north.
That's a strange one. I didn't understand his plot to electrocute the ground.
No, it wasn't the ground. It was the lake, and the wet sand on the beach.
Okay.
Because his Jeffrey Wright's character Beatty, that's how he won the Hunger Games. He electrocuted 6 people at one time.
I knew that one. I remember that one.
And so he's going back to his roots and
to electrocute. Okay, yeah.
And the reason that they can't seem to find anyone else and smoke them out is because they like to claim the beach as their territory, but right now they're on the beach. So their theory is if they go into the woods, use the electric tree, then bring a wire back to the beach, the others will be drawn back to the beach for safety, but then they'll all get electrocuted in the water or on the sand.
Okay, I got you. I was a little bit confused on what his plot was. I'm like, wait, how does this work? Well, once again, you find it didn't really come to be a thing anyway. It was what happened after the fact. I knew something bad was happening when he's like, wait, why does P come with me? Because I just need him. Trust me, I just need him. Then I'm like, okay, now the bad stuff's going to happen.
Yeah.
And Aquaman, you see, he kind of turns the dark side for a second. It's like, oh, there comes that again.
Yeah.
I was really happy to find out that twist untwisted itself because I'm like, okay, well, that would have been a little bit too predictable, a little bit too lame if they just left it at that. So I'm really happy with that. What else is there that we're forgetting? And once again, this movie is so good. It's like when it's over,
You want more.
you want the next movie right there and then.
Give it
I think that's
me
all.
now.
Huh?
No, forget. I was like, give it to me now. Is there anything else we're forgetting?
I think we're.
Go see this movie before it is out of theaters.
Well, it'll be there for a while because it is pretty. It's a big movie.
You won't be disappointed.
You will not. You do have to watch the first one though. You can't just throw this movie on and get it. You have to watch the first one.
If not the first one, at least the last half hour of the first one.
I guess,
the
yeah.
scene with the berries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the berry thing comes in. That's a big
The berry thing is why President Snow is so ticked off.
Yeah, and you see that at the end of the first one.
Yeah.
So that's all we got for Catching Fire, I think. Go see
Yeah.
it. The last little bit of news that we got to throw at you really isn't much, but I just wanted to mention this because I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, is there was this picture thrown online with the a movie poster for Amazing Spider-Man 2. And it's not a clear picture, but it shows you Electro, Rhino, and the Green Goblin. I do not like this poster at all, which is a shame because I am ungodly looking forward to this movie. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. For those of you who don't know that, I do not like the way Rhino looks. It looks like he's actually a robotic Rhino, which I knew there was going to be some mecha suit involved. I was thinking like more of a human humanoid robot instead of an actual robot Rhino, which I think looks very stupid and very, very silly. But once again, if that's even it, because we can't even see it that clearly.
Yeah.
If that's what it is, it looks very silly. The Green Goblin, you can't see him in it very well.
He's in the way back of the poster.
You can't really see him in the picture.
But if you have had any contact with Spider-Man, you know that it's him on the glider.
Yeah, because who else goes on the glider? Unless you call Hobgoblin, but they're not going to do Hobgoblin until Green Goblin.
Yeah, you got to have the original first.
And plus, we know that they're kind of building up to the Sinister Six and a Green Goblin. Here's the thing: we don't hear much. Here's why this is such a bad idea. We hear all the time what they're doing with Electro, what they're doing with the Rhino, and for them to just tell us, we know Green Goblin is coming in soon. But with no hype, no build-up yet, because naturally there already comes a build-up that we're waiting for.
Right.
But for the natural build-up, just to be followed up with the payoff of, oh, here's the poster with him on it in the background just a little bit, is such a huge slap in the face to me and to a lot of Spider-Man fans who really... I don't even think, from what you can see, it doesn't even look like that much different than the last one. I really wanted to see them do like a rubber mask, get the mouth moving, put like a cape, actually get like some more pumpkin bombs in there. I wanted this to get a little bit more cartoony.
Well, you'll have a cartoony with the weird looking Rhino.
Yeah, I know. When I mean cartoony, I mean like I don't want it to be complete legit military style sci-fi.
Gotcha.
Like we see over and over again. I like to see that. Which the first one was pretty cartoony too. But Spider-Man has a luxury. Spider-Man can be stretched a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I was so disappointed. I'm like, dude, why are you revealing him?
I'm wondering
that way, because that's a terrible, terrible thing to do.
I'm wondering which marketing person thought of this, because all right, we've got people hyped up for Electro, Jamie Foxx. All right, cool. We've got the Rhino played by
That's so much
Paul
hyped
Giamatti.
up for Electro. It's like, we know Electro's there. Okay, we're looking forward to seeing him.
They keep leaking screenshots of like him on the set and whatever.
Well, which still look cool.
Yeah, exactly. But
they look really cool.
You don't need that. Oh, we've got the Green Goblin. Where's the suspense now?
I know. Yeah, you're right. There is no more suspense
unless there's some gigantic twist none of us are expecting. There's not much more suspense in this movie.
Because I know. Once again, there could be more. But my thing is, though, it's like we know that Green Goblin will at least make his first appearance in this movie.
Yes.
Or be hinted at more, or slightly revealed, or be introduced to. We know we're going to get that little taste because I'm really hoping that, like, Amazing Spider-Man 3 is going to be... Here's the thing, Green Goblin should not be a villain with other villains. He should be the villain against Spider-Man. And especially when he's not just a villain, but in the back is a villain? Now, you could argue, oh, that means he's the guy controlling everything. I don't want to see that. Well, it should be, if that's the case, he's in the back controlling, don't reveal that in a very quick and easy way on a poster.
Now, with these three villains, I mean, we might run into the Spider-Man 3 scenario, too many villains in one movie.
Which is something that I've been fearing for a while. We have some proof that has been happening because, they cut out Mary Jane from this movie, and they're leaving Gwen Stacy there. Now, does she still die? Yes or no? Okay. If Green Goblin, we know she's going to die either this movie or the next movie, because we've seen the clips of her in the jacket and stuff like that. Green Goblin has to be the one to kill her.
Right.
Do not have Green Goblin kill her when the Green Goblin has only been introduced for 2 seconds. That is a very impactful, that is a very symbolistic and significant comic in Spider-Man history where the Green Goblin throws her off the bridge. And he doesn't kill her, Spider-Man accidentally kills her. Do not do that, even if your point is to make that the plot device of him going against the Green Goblin. I still want a long time to be stuck and invested and be very familiar with the Goblin, so that does make an impact. Because everyone's like, oh, that was the payoff. She dies from someone who we just met. No, he needs to be there for a while.
You want build-up. You don't want to just skip to the last chapter of the book.
Yeah, there needs to be a build-up. And right now, it's like, oh, that's all we got for the goblin. I'm hoping like more and more. There may be like a poster with like the goblin's face. Maybe even that. Not even that. I want him to appear, to come in almost the same way as he kind of appeared in the first Amazing Spider-Man. After credit scene, is that really him? Is it not really him? There has to be a question about that, especially since we know that the main protagonist is going to be Electro. Even if your plan is to have the plot twist, oh no, here's the real puppet master, you just ruined it.
Yes.
You just ruined it.
Now there's one glimmer of hope. What if they put Green Goblin on the poster in the background? What if it goes down, like you said, with just an after-credit scene? Or what if there's no...
Then why is he on the poster?
Then
why is he on the poster if you're just using him in the after-credit scene? That's the point.
Because you know fans are going to react to it.
But still, then that's false advertising.
Yes.
That's completely false advertising.
I didn't say it was ethical.
Okay, true, you didn't, but that's why I think Rhino is only going to be there for 2 seconds, because I think he's supposed to be like in the beginning. Well, guess what Spider-Man's been up to, and you just see him do a quick roundup of the Rhino. Just a quick, okay, you got the Rhino, because Rhino isn't really, he's a very popular, but he doesn't really do that much. I think it's same thing with Electro, which I'm okay with it, with taking characters not so well known and really building them up. Like Electro, from what I hear, they're doing some pretty interesting stuff with it. Don't do that with two B-level villains. Once again, I think Rhino is only going to be there for 2 seconds, and he's just emphasized just to put his name on there to get people to go there.
Yes.
I don't think he's going to be there much at all. Green Goblin, you can't do that with him. Green Goblin is Spider-Man's villain. He is a very significant and very recognizable villain. And a very interesting one. He's awesome. One of my favorite villains in all of comic books. And for that to just happen, I'm just very disappointed. So that's all we got for today, ladies and gentlemen. I got nothing else. You got anything else about anything else?
I'm good.
That's it. We have been going for almost 45 minutes. I'm going to have to cut this down a little bit. I don't worry about that. So, yeah, guys, we'll see you next week. What next week's show is going to be, I have no idea yet. Hopefully, we're going to try to get a Frozen review out to you guys.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. And that's all I got. So, take care. Alright, so, yeah, Catching Fire.
Oh my gosh.
Holy shit. Shit, I can't say that.
Okay.
I gotta start that over again. I'm not allowed to say that.
And take two.